start with the hamstrings, and I've got two different sets that I'm going to demo with, just so that you, and actually I'm going to have a big ball as well. So just so Karen, I know you've got new tools and my mom's got new tools. So we got this recorded, and then you guys can play with them in any way you like. But we're going to start by sitting onto the chair, and either 2 balls or 1 ball. That'll be totally up to you. And if you've got this little netted ball, you're going to keep them in the net. So you're going to sit yourself onto the chair so that you have access to the back of the leg. So either double balls or single ball, you're going to get still plenty of work. So don't matter which one you go with here, but you're going to start by placing your balls underneath the leg. Get it into a little bit of a groove, and then just for a second, just let your leg get heavy onto the ball or set of balls. So just let your leg get heavy. Take a second to just kind of tune in. Let the muscles in the back of your leg soften. We just did a bit of hamstring work too, so this might feel a little bit, you might get some feelings here. All right, and then once you feel like you've kind of got that sense of that relaxed sensation, just a light swing of your foot. So it doesn't need to be extreme yet, just a light, gentle swing. Kind of tune in and notice the movement behind your leg. All right, now let that swinging come to stillness, and then just draw gentle, tiny little circles with your foot. Circle in one direction. Circle the other way. Let that come to stillness, lift up, and now we're going to move it on up. So move a little bit more towards the center of the back of the thigh. 2 balls or single ball, totally up to you. Still going to get the same bit of work happening through the back of the leg. It just might feel a little different sensationally. You might feel that you're more in the middle, and with the 2 balls, you might feel like you're a little bit more to the outer edges, and then you can play around with what feels good. Once you get your way there, for a second, just let the leg get heavy. Take a nice big breath. And then when you feel ready, a light and gentle swing of the foot. Nice. And now that we're in the middle of the leg, maybe if it feels good, take a little bit more exaggerated swing of the foot, but slow it down a little bit. So rather than that free flying kick, make it a little bit more controlled. One more kick up and down, and then as the foot settles down, draw your foot in circles, go in one direction. Draw your foot in circles, go the other way. Awesome. And then we're going to move up one last time. So you're going to pick up the leg, slide the ball in, or double balls. That's going to be just depending on what you're working with, but you're going to get it close to where the back of the leg meets the butt. So we want to get up into that space. And then once you found your way there, just let the leg get soft and heavy. If your foot touches the ground, let it touch the ground, and then let all the muscles soften and settle around it. Get a little taller in your posture. Take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. And then you're going to wag your butt a little side to side. So you're going to just kind of roll across in that side to side fashion, especially as you get up closer to where the back of the leg meets the butt, or as my son used to call it, the butt leg. As you get up into the butt leg, just give that nice little rock side to side. Nice. One more little rock side to side. And now we're going to lift the tush entirely up off the chair. And then you're going to place the ball underneath your butt, or you're going to go double balls. So just totally up to you as to which one you're going to go with. With those double balls, you get a little bit more of an opportunity to do this front and back glide because you have a little bit more of a ramp to sit on. If you go single ball, then you're just going to find that you might want to do a little bit more circular motion. And then if like these tennis balls get a little slippy, so it just might be precarious if you have a slippy surface that you're working on. So tune in, notice how everything feels, and then see if you can find a central location and see if you can just soften your glute muscles onto the ball. Get a little taller in your posture. Take a nice big breath. Awesome. And then lift completely up and off. And then we're going to take that leg that we've just been working on, bring it into a figure 4 position, and then either single ball or double ball. But if you're going double balls, keep them in the net. And we're actually going to address the ankle a little bit. So if you can position your foot so that the ankle is slightly across your knee, either take your double balls and you're just going to locate those 2 little bones on the inside of the ankle, the little ridge of your netted ball. That is going to glide over those bones. So you're not going to put any pressure on the bones. If you're going single ball, you're just going to kind of move some circles around. Same area that we're working in, but the double netted ball, you're just going to kind of place it just so that it's working smoothly across those bones. If you're working single ball, just draw some circles around, go up and down, circle around, just to find a little bit of gentle massage right into that ankle. Cool. One more movement around. And then just for your edification, when you're using these netted balls, the cool thing about the net is that it too can like do a little gripping work. So I like to take my netted balls and put a little handhold, and then I push in and twist and turn. So think of kind of like that when we do that twisting and turning maneuver with our calf muscles or with our thigh muscles. Same principle. You're just going to push in and twist and turn. You can do the same thing with a single tennis ball. We do that doorknob turn. So you're going to push into the muscle tissue and twist and turn. But just the cool thing about the net is it offers that little bit of grip. So you might feel it try to catch your clothes. And if you're bare skinned, it's going to try to catch the skin. And that's cool. We want the skin, we want the connective tissue to move. So take your single ball or double balls, move up and down the inside of the calf. Take 1 or 2 more times up and down. And then super, super gentle, especially since that knee is free and we don't want to push too much into it. It's either single ball or double ball, but right to the inside of the knee. So think where that muscle is, right on the inside of the knee. And you're either going to draw some gentle circles if you're going single ball, or if you're going double, you're just going to give a little bit of a steamroll action, just rolling up and down, but just be mindful of how much pressure you put on. We don't want to push that knee so that it's getting a little bit out of whack. Nice. Take one more little movement around that knee area, set that foot down, give your knees a little swish, and then we're going to take all of that to the other side. So you're either going to spin yourself around or spin your chair around, but we want to have access to underneath the back of the thigh. So either double balls or single ball, you're still going to get plenty of work, but we're going to place it a little bit closer to the knee joint. Take a second, let the muscles relax around the ball. Take a nice big breath in. Nice. And then if it feels good, a light and gentle swing of the foot. Let the foot come to stillness, or let that swinging come to stillness, and then just gently circle your foot in one direction. Circle your foot the other way. Foot comes to stillness, lift the leg up, move the ball or double balls, totally up to you, but move it on up. So now you're probably finding that middle part of the thigh. Take a second to let the thigh get heavy. Find that nice upright posture. And then if it feels good, add that gentle swing of the foot. And then if that feels really good and you just want that exaggerated motion, you're going to lengthen the foot out, but make sure it's a controlled motion. So you're in control of how high the foot goes and how softly it lands. Nice. The next time the foot softens down, hang heavy, circle your foot in one direction. Circle your foot the other way. Awesome. And then lift off and we're moving it up again. So we're getting up close to the back of the thigh where the back of the thigh meets the butt. So scooch it on up, find that space, get a little tall, let your foot touch down to the ground if it can, soften the muscles, take a nice big breath in. Slow breath out. Awesome. And then any other movement here that feels good. So you could always swish your knee, you can move around, you can glide things around. If it feels good, circle the foot, any bit of movement. When I'm doing my work when I'm doing my work while I'm watching TV, this is what I do. I spend quality time with my netted balls. Well, I just move around in a way that feels good. So feel free to always play with that movement. And then when you feel ready, lift up and we're going to place the ball underneath our glutes. So double ball or single ball, totally up to you, but we're going to find the center of the glutes and then see if we can just let the butt muscles soften, find that nice tall posture. And then see how it feels. You're either going to rock a little side to side, circle around, or glide forward and back. That'll just depend on how the balls move with you. And then again, if you're on the chair and the tennis ball, sometimes that's just a little bit slippy. So find a bit of movement that feels good just so that you can let your glutes relax. And then once you feel like you found a little bit of work there, let everything soften and relax, feet heavy on the ground, glutes heavy in your chair. Take a nice big breath. Awesome. And then lift on off, take that ball out from underneath you, and then find your figure 4. Same thing to the other side. So we're going to find that ankle joint, those 2 bones. If you're going netted ball, that little scoop is going to glide across. So you're just going to roll up and down. If you're going single ball, you're just going to make some circles. So you're going to avoid those bony prominences and just find the muscle and connective tissue areas. Great. And then when you feel ready, we're going to move up to that muscle that runs along the inside of the knee. So single ball, double ball, totally going to get the same amount of work. It just might change the way that you do your hand glide. So if you're going double balls, it might be a little bit more of a rolling pin action. And then if you're going single ball, it might be a little bit more circular. And then just be mindful of how much pressure you're putting on so you're not pushing that knee out of place. All right, one more movement around the knee, and then just to find that gripping work, either double ball and you're going to grip and turn, or single ball and you're going to do that doorknob turn. So you're just going to move up the muscles along the side of the calf. Nice. One more up and down, and then we're going to place them down on the floor. So cool thing about the double ball, especially we're going to keep it netted for now. So cool thing about that is you get a lot more surface area of the foot covered. So if you're going double ball, just take it underneath your foot. If you're going single ball, you're going to place that ball somewhere that it's not going to kind of slip and slide out from underneath you. And you're just going to lean into it just a little bit so you can really smush through the bottom of the foot. So think toes to heels, and you're just going to work down the length of the foot. If you've got the double ball situation, then you're going to get a lot of ground covered all in one bit of work. And then I like the double ball too, because you can kind of place the blade edge of your foot into that little groove, and then you can kind of get that little hug in, and it works the blade edge of your foot too. And then you can do the same thing to the instep. So you can play around with how much access you have to those little corners and edges, so you can really work into some places there. And then once you feel like you've got enough work going on in that foot, you're just going to switch right over to the other side. So either single ball or double ball, totally up to you. Just move it underneath the other foot and then work to the depth that is right for you. So you can put in as much body weight and pressure as feels right. Sometimes I really like to dig in. In fact, when I get into my shoulder, sometimes if I'm laying on the ground, I'll prop my feet up so I can get lots of body weight on it. But I'm a weirdo like that. And then same thing if you're going double balls on the other side, you might choose to get your blade edge into that little groove, give a couple of rolls up and down there. Maybe get the instep in there, get a little work in that direction. And then once you feel like both feet are covered, just take a second with your feet settled on the ground, nothing else to do, just for a moment, close your eyes down, notice your feet touching the floor, take a nice big breath. Awesome. And then when you're ready, lift on up, and now we're going to come down onto the ground. So move your chair just completely out of the way so you have plenty of space to move. And then we're going to move right into the backs of the calves. So with the double ball in the net, you can keep it there, and then you're just going to find that it's going to hug around the calf muscle. And here's a great place where if you're doing the toe drag, where we turn in and turn out, you don't even have to find a lot of movement. You don't have to drag the ball across because there's a ball on each side. So toe drag with double ball is just going to look slightly different, whereas the toe drag with a single ball, the whole leg is going to kind of move. So you get that little bit of a twist and turn. So whichever variation that you're going with, take a couple little turns the toe side to side. And then when you feel ready, move it on up, maybe work into the middle of the calf, same thing, toe turns side to side. So that means if you're going double ball, it's going to hug around the outer edge of the calf, and then it's just going to look a little bit more like a windshield wiper. So you're working into those muscles without having to drag the whole leg across. Beautiful. One more little drag side to side, and then we're going to move it on up right to that top thickest part of the calf, and either toe drag or double ball and just a little windshield wiper. So you choose the variation that you're going with. Nice. One more little drag side to side and then pick up your balls. Double ball or single ball, it doesn't matter, but if you're going double balls, we're just going to use one ball. So grab and grip, and then we're going to take the ball right to that inside. So find that little groove to the inside of the shin bone. So think, where's the shin bone? Dig your fingers in. So find that little groove and then place your ball there, a little counter pressure. The other hand is going to hold tight, and then you're just going to push in, draw some gentle circles in one direction. Push in, draw your circles the other way. Release and take it over to the other side. So now you're going to find that outer edge of the shin bone. Push in with a little bit of pressure, counter pressure with the other hand, just to hold the leg in place. Draw some circles in one direction. Draw some circles, go the other way. And then we're going to take it down the side of the thigh. So think IT band. This is another place where the little grippy net is awesome because you can push in, twist and turn, but that same doorknob maneuver that we do with the tennis ball. So push in, turn your doorknob, take it all the way up to the side of the thigh where the thigh meets the side of the butt, and then back down again. Nice. Take one more little twist up and down, and then we're going to move right onto the other leg. So double ball or single ball, totally up to you, but we're going to move to the lower portion of the calf, and it's going to be that little twist and turn of the foot, or think windshield wiper. So if you're on the double balls, go more of a windshield wiper action so the ball stays steady underneath you. If you're going with the single ball, you're going to do that little toe drag. So toe turns in and toe turns out. So we just smooth the ball across the bottom of the calf. Beautiful. When you're ready, move it on up to the middle of the calf. Single ball, double ball, same thing, just move it on up. And then either it's just going to be a little windshield wiper action with the foot, or you're going to do the toe drag. Nice. One more turn side to side. And then when you're ready, move it on up, get up nice and high to the back, the thickest part of that calf, and then either toe drag, turn side to side, or double ball windshield wiper. Cool. One more little toe drag or twist and turn. And then when you're ready, bend that knee, bring it on up. And then we're going to find that little groove to the inside. So if you need that assist, just take your fingers, draw the inside of the bone till you feel that little indentation. And that's where we're going to place the ball. So if you're going tennis ball, just that single handhold. If you're with that double netted ball, you're just going to use one single ball, push in, draw some circles. The other hand is just going to offer you that little bit of a counter pressure. Nice. Draw your circles the other way. Awesome. And then we're going to just flip it over to the other side. So find that little groove on the other side, push in, put a little bit of counter pressure. Push in and circle the other way. I always find it fascinating how sometimes one leg of mine can feel completely different than the other. So just know if you ever feel that, you are not alone. All right, one more circle around. And then when you're ready, we're going to take that little doorknob, twist and turn up and down the outside of the thigh. So you either double ball and you're going to use it with that double hand hold and then twist and turn, or single ball, do that doorknob turn and your hand might offer that little bit of counter pressure. Beautiful. One more little twist and turn up and down. And then when you're ready, and Liz, you have two tennis balls? Super. Okay, cool. We're going to go double ball all the way up the spine. So we're going to take this two balls in the net, keep them in the net if you've got it. Two tennis balls, same deal, but we're going to take it towards the low back. And just right away as you come down, you're going to feel if your back kind of clenched up right away, you're going to relax your tush down before you even come all the way down in that full recline position. Give the muscles a second to chill out. And then if you can, make sure that the balls are along the length of the spine. So not on the bony structure of the spine, but along the muscles that run along the length of the spine. Once you've got that the balls in place with control, lower yourself all the way down. And if you get here and your back starts screaming at you, you have two options: come off right away or tuck your fists underneath your butt and give a little bit of light support. Then once you found that little bit of light support, maybe you release the fists into just flat palms and let your butt soften onto your palms. Only if you need that little bit of support. If things are feeling good and you're able to relax those back muscles, let your tailbone kind of soften towards the earth. It's going to create a little bit of an exaggerated arch in the low back. Let the muscles relax around the balls. Take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. And then see how it feels to take it into a light little pelvic tilt, which means you're going to keep a slight engagement of the core muscles so that you're not collapsing your back onto the floor. You're going to feel a light massage into the balls. But if anything feels like it's shooting pain in your back, you're going to come off, reassess, replace the balls in a place that feels better, and then see if you can come back to that pelvic tilt. Take 1 or 2 more tilts of the pelvis if you've got it going on. Nice. And then see if you can settle your tailbone down. So we're going to come back to that exaggerated arch. Arms are just going to come out wherever feels the most comfortable. And then we're going to take alternating knee drops, but it's not going to be a full range of motion. It's just going to be a light little right knee is going to come out to the side and then the left, but you're going to stay in control of this motion. So we're not flopping the knee out and letting the whole back wobble against those balls. It's a light controlled motion, one knee and then the other. One more time each side or even yourself out. And then we're going to take it into some mini toe taps. So we're going to lift one leg up and then the other. The balls are going to stay underneath you. Make sure it feels good and comfortable. So it should be a massaging sensation, not a shooting pain sensation. If you've gone past that hurts so good and it just hurts, reposition the balls. But if you feel like you're in a good place, take one more toe tap each side. And then when you're ready, we're going to lift the hips up, manually move the balls. So we're going to move the balls up about 2 inches, just coming up further up the spine, heading towards the shoulders. Once you've found a position that is about 2 or 3 inches up, soften your tailbone down. It's going to exaggerate the arch in the back. Come back to those light knee drops. So not full extension of the knee out to the side, but just a light bit of movement. And as you find that light bit of movement, see if you can feel that light bit of movement in the muscles in your butt, and then maybe in the muscles up the spine. Take one more time each side. And then as you come back to center, light, gentle toe tap. So not extreme, extreme. Make sure everything feels supported. It should feel like a massaging action on the back, no shooting pain. Awesome. One more tap each side and then push into your feet, lift up, lift all the way up into a nice high bridge. And now we're going to move those balls up a little bit further. So just manually move them up about 2 more inches. So now we're coming probably underneath the rib cage. So along the length of the spine, but now we're getting up into that rib cage. So up into that thoracic spine. So you might've felt your ribs kind of puff up and lift a little bit. Now see if you can just let your shoulder heads relax, let your arms come out a little bit wider. Take a second to just breathe into that space because we've moved up into the thoracic spine. So now let the muscles up there just kind of chill out for a second. And then if you can, especially if you've been working on that breath stuff, see if you can find and focus that breath in the rib cage. So as you inhale, think front to back, side to side. So there's that expansive breath in the rib cage. And then as you exhale, think about the ribs kind of drawing in towards each other. One more breath. And then we're going to lift up one last time. So either we're going to move it manually or you're going to lift up and push into the balls and then glide up. I think manual might be a little bit easier, but I've gotten used to just gliding up the balls. So you find the way to move up in a way that works good for you. But now we're getting a little bit close to that shoulder blade groove. So we're sitting right underneath the groove of the shoulder blades along the length of the spine. Once you found your way there, relax your shoulder heads down. Now it's going to feel like a bigger upper back bend. So there's still going to be that little bit of a puffing of the chest. And now we're going to take it into some nice generous arm circles. So both arms are going to circle in one direction. Awesome. Circle your arms the other way. Beautiful. And then relax your hands down and then either push into your feet, glide up the balls, or move the balls manually. That'll be totally up to you. But now we're going to get into the groove of the shoulder blades. So we're going to kind of find that central location. So think shoulder blades, middle of the shoulder blades, still in the muscles that run along the spine. Once you found your way there, let your tailbone relax, let your shoulder heads relax, let your head relax. Take 3 nice big breaths before you move. Nice. And now we're going to start with some crisscross arms across the chest. So one arm on top and then the other. You're just going to give yourself a light and gentle hug, but think of it as kind of a fluid movement. So we're just crossing the arms, barely touch, and then open them out, but it's a controlled movement. Notice how that feels. And then if you like, the next time your right hand comes on top, we're going to take it into some eagle arms. So right hand comes on top, we're going to keep the elbows stacked and then wrap the hands around so that the palms meet. Once you've got your eagle arms, then you're going to take the elbows up and down in a nice fluid motion. It's going to really create a big opening space in the shoulder blades, so it might feel a little bit intense. So slow it down, pay attention to your breath. Take one more time up and down, and then when you're ready, release your arms, open them out nice and wide, take a breath. Then left hand is going to come on top, find that hug first. See if you can keep the elbows stacked, wrap your hands around, find your eagle arms. Once you've got your eagle arms, take the elbows up and down. Wonderful. One more elbow up and down, and then open the arms wide, and then we're going to glide up the balls one last time. So now we're going to get up pretty high up into the shoulders. So as you come up high into the shoulders, so into that nice groove, coming up across the top of the shoulder blades. So think now we're getting up into that nice meaty part of the shoulder situation. Find a good groove that works good for you, and then see if you can just relax your head down. And then just for a second, check in. So sometimes when you're working double balls, you want to sort of make sure that there's a little bit of an alignment there so that you're not just kind of dropped over to one side or the other. So find that nice even position with the shoulders. And then once you feel like you're there, come back to those big generous arm circles. Circle in one direction. And then when you're ready, circle your arms, go the other way. Nice. And now we're going to give ourselves a hug. So right hand on top, left hand on bottom, just get your hand hold. And then once you've got that little hug, you're going to take a little turn of your head side to side. So it's going to be a small range of motion in the head and neck. But as you gently turn your head side to side, you've created a space in the shoulders with this hug. And now see if you can just feel that gentle movement underneath you as you gently turn your head side to side. Take one more turn of the head side to side, and then as your head comes back to center, unwrap your arms, take it to the other side. Give yourself a hug, and then come back to that turn of your head side to side. Nice. One more turn of the head side to side, and then we're going to release the arms into cactus or gold pose arms. Push into your feet, and then see if you can take a little bit of a gliding motion up and down. So butt lifts off the ground. You can also support the head, so you can take your hands behind the head if that feels like a better way to go. If that glide up and down is way too intense, then leave it off. You might just choose to lift your butt up and find some work there. But if the glide feels good, then you see how far you can go with it. So you glide up towards the tops of the shoulders, down towards the shoulder blades. But for this one, we do want to stay in the upper body just because it can be pretty intense. Once you feel like you found plenty of work there, we're going to lift off. And especially I should note that those netted balls, sometimes they do catch your clothes a little bit. So it creates its own little bit of work to unwind your clothes from your netted bag. All right. So once you've got yourself up and off your balls, take a second to just give it an assess. Let your shoulders soften down. Let your back relax on the floor. Just kind of tune in and notice how everything feels. Maybe give your shoulders a little shimmy shake. And then just to finish, we're going to take the double balls underneath the head. So you're going to find that skull bone. So you're going to rest the balls underneath the skull bone. And then especially if you're unnetted, it might feel really good to just keep your hands there to help support the balls in place. But once you've got both balls underneath your skull, you're just going to take a gentle turn of your head side to side. Awesome. One more little turn of the head side to side. And then as your head comes back to center, give a gentle nod of the head up and down. Nice. One more nod of the head up and down. And then when you're ready, lift your head up, release the balls from underneath your head. Maybe just let your arms come into a cactus or goalpost position. And then just take a couple of gentle turns of your head side to side with your head resting on the ground. Notice the range of motion here. Notice if you've got any tension in your neck or your shoulders, like that you just need to kind of release one last time. And then as your head comes back to center, pause for a moment. Just let everything be still. Take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. Cool. And then when you're ready, rock and roll your way up to a seated position. Take a second to just find that seated position. And then we're just going to take a little drop of the head side to side. Just kind of notice how your head, neck, and shoulders feel. And then, of course, after you've done some of that deep tissue work, you always want to make sure that you drink plenty of water, but you already knew that. One more nod of the head side to side. And then when you're ready, just kind of shrug out your shoulders, especially if you got in there and you were really grooving along. It might feel good to just kind of bring a little fluid movement back into the shoulders. But if all is feeling good, you guys are amazing. I hope you have an awesome rest of your day. We did